The first box office long-range forecast predictions for Shazam! Fury of the Gods are officially out from multiple outlets. And they show us a rather concerning picture, because the low-end estimate is pretty low and the high-end estimate is pretty low. So again, this is the long-range forecast. We're going to have the final forecast like the week before the film, specifically like maybe 3 days before it comes out. But currently, the low-end estimate is 75 million. The high-end is 85. So most seem to believe that it's going to land somewhere in that 10 million mark, which isn't a whole lot of wiggle room. Now, at the same time, we're looking at this film delivering the same type of numbers, at least in comparison to something like Black Adam and or Shazam. And is that enough to sustain it? Because we've talked multiple times about multiple people not being certain with this franchise, its longevity, and whether it even gets a third film. It's very problematic. And I think if this film comes out, let's say optimistically, it does 100 million opening weekend. Second weekend, maybe 45. Okay, that's good. That's real good. But they're not predicting that. Especially that right now, long-range forecast for the United States total is coming in at 120 to 140. Now, we're talking about the entire theatrical run, 140. So we're looking at the film making in 6 to 8 weeks in theaters what Quantumania, for example, made in its 4-day weekend. That's problematic. And that tells me that there's probably no optimism with this franchise going forward, at least when you look at the charts. Now, there is a chance that the film reviews so well that they go, well, the reviews are better than the monetary gain, which honestly might just be a factor in this. But again, we're going to have to wait for the opening weekend, the critical and the fan reception to see where it goes. And whether WB gambles with more Shazam filling up a slot in a year, or do they gamble something else that might make them more money? Because let's say, for example, I come to you and I say, hey, you can decide one of these films gets a sequel, Superman Legacy or Shazam 2. Which one do you want in 2028, 2029? Right? I know which one you're going to pick, at least in terms of how important it is and the returns, especially when it comes to merchandise. That's the big picture here.